by the end of that 30 days, your body isn't going to know the difference between that mental, creative imagination and reality. You will become that individual because the body has had multiple experiences of being that person. Meditate on this. The human nervous system cannot tell the difference between a mental experience and a physical one. Welcome back, men. So today I wanted to explore this idea in the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. This is quite a famous book, quite an old book, and I recently was reading this over the holidays and I came across that quote at the beginning of this video, that the nervous system cannot tell the difference between a mental experience versus a physical one. And I wanted to explore that with you in this video. And this is going to follow the same rationality that things like the law of attraction follow, and manifesting things into your environment. We hear quite a lot of material around the ideas of bringing wealth creation, money, cars, women, whatever the case may be, into our environment by simply thinking about it. And I wanted to give you the rationality behind why that is actually true and how we can make that work to our advantage. And it falls into this realm of conscious thought. You see, the problem why the law of attraction may not be personally working for you is because we think that we can have these grand ideas of what we would like to bring into fruition into our lives, and that will be enough, that there's no action required in doing that, which is a common narrative whenever life isn't working for us. But the practices that are shared in this particular text really captured my imagination, funnily enough, which is actually key to making this working for you. You see, we spend all of our days, 9 to 5s, perhaps working on somebody else's dream and using our thoughts to perpetuate their narrative, their wealth creation, their money, etc., etc. But we rarely take the time out of the day to give us the same kind of luxury, give us the same kind of attention and conscious thought towards bringing into our lives some of the things that we would desire to see. And one of the ways we can do this is actually a practice that I've highlighted in this book here, which requires something called mental rehearsal. And some of you may be privy to that idea, maybe not. Simply, this idea requires you to sit down every single day for at least 30 minutes and consciously think about the type of life that you want to live. Okay? And the key aspect in this practice is to do it in detail. Now, if I tie this together with that truth that I stated at the beginning of this video, that the nervous system cannot tell the difference between an actual event that happens physically or a mental one that just happens, again, abstract, non-tangibly. The body cannot tell the difference between those two aspects, and therefore it already experiences it in a way. So let me give you an example. Say, for instance, you had a job interview coming up and you wanted to be successful in that particular interview. What you might proceed to do is sit down for 30 minutes and create a mental movie of how you would like that interview to go, but in detail. Okay, I'm not talking about, again, this idea may seem quite trite, but I'm not talking about just have an idea while you're watching the adverts on television. I'm saying sit down without any distractions and just go through it in depth. What you're going to wear, buttoning up your tie and putting on your blazer, buttoning up your shirt, putting on your tie, and then proceeding to go through how you will get to the venue, how you're going to shake the hand of your interviewer, what you might say, some potential questions that will come up, and you mentally rehearse these things in detail. And that is the key in creation. You see, we all hold the pen to our own stories, but somebody else always has the pen. Somebody else is always writing the next day for us, our next week, the following year. And I'm just inviting you to consider the fact that you actually have jurisdiction about how your story is going to be written. But many of you don't take the time to sit down without distraction every single day. You got to do this every single day and write that story in detail. And I'm proceeding to do this more consciously now and explore how my body is already getting the feedback. It's already experiencing the emotions, the energies of an individual who is a high performer, who owns multiple businesses, what his day-to-day looks like, what time he gets up in the morning, where he lives. All these things, you should have a very, very vivid and clear mental rehearsal of how your dream life is supposed to go, what you're going to wear every day, who your friends are, who your social circle is, where you perhaps spend your free time, what hobbies you have, and go through that with, very discriminating detail. And the more and more you experience it mentally, the more and more your body is also experiencing it. And before long, you'll become that individual because the body has all those experiences of that success, that wealth creation. So you see, they often say when you are creating something, you create it twice, because it first has its inception point in the mind. If you look at everything that is around you, your laptop, your phone, your camera, any invention has first been created here. You have to have consciously conjured up the creation, and then you can proceed to make it a physical actuality. And you can only do this by first rehearsing its creation process in the mind. This may seem like a trite idea, my friends, but try it for 30 days. Sit yourself down for 20 to 30 minutes every day and mentally rehearse that dream life, that successful day-to-day that you would like to see come into fruition. And by the end of that 30 days, your body isn't going to know the difference between that mental creative imagination and reality. You will become that individual because the body has had multiple experiences of being that person. Because again, and I'm going to end on the same quote, my friends, the nervous system cannot tell the difference between an event you've imagined in your head and a physical one. And I've actually done a video on PTSD, how it's actually the same phenomenon. I believe that's one of my earlier videos, but just quickly, PTSD, the individuals that suffer from these ailments are reliving those traumatic events mentally, and the body is experiencing them as if that event was actually happening. Again, the nervous system can't tell the difference. So they're actually living that trauma in the now, in the present. I'm saying you can make it work the other way around for you, that you can experience your success now, because you can use it mentally and the body will not be able to distinguish between that future event and the event happening in your mind. If you enjoy this video, my friends, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and you can download some of my other resources that are free on my Gumroad. I've got a free testosterone optimization ebook for men who are suffering from low T, and I've actually got a book coming out very soon in early 2021 about fasting. And with that being said, I'll see you very soon, my friends.